Hey guys, I'm excited for my chat with Andy today. I don't know if you can tell, but I am like starting to lose my voice and it's been sore since last weekend. I think it's just sinuses because I can feel it like all my face and my neck, and so I've been taking sinus medicine and drinking lots of tea, but it's just not going away. So we'll see what happens. For a while, I thought I was going to lose my voice yesterday. But yeah, I feel okay until I try to like go and work out or do something, and then I can just feel the exhaustion. So I think I'm getting sick. But it's been kind of a relaxing week, just working from home, and then I've been going to bed early. So I think Sunday night I got 13 hours of sleep, and then Monday night I got 12 hours of sleep. So I'm doing really okay on sleep, but yeah, not a whole lot of other things have gotten done because of it. So that's been my week this week. I am working on a project that's kind of becoming a little bit of a stickler project. So it was supposed to be a 3 week design period, and we're now about at 6 weeks. The designers, our engineers, they keep coming up with new problems and new things that they need to investigate. And instead of like looking down at the finish line and seeing that, oh hey, this is just like an interim thing, we're gonna do the full design. Oops! Oh my gosh, I caught it. So I don't even know that it's so windy. That's what's going on. It's like super windy and it's blowing everything around. So anyway, this design is just kind of extending out, and we're like reiterating and going in circles and circles, and so I had to recharter the team, I guess you would call it. Basically, the client said, hey, I'm unhappy with how this is going on our side and on your side, and you need to pull the team in. And so I pulled up the schedule and the budget, how much over schedule we are and over budget we are, and laid it all out for them on Monday. I called the PM and made sure he was on the call as well. I thought I got through to him, but I don't think I did until the PM had another call with them on Wednesday and said basically the same exact thing I said. He didn't give them the full background and detail, which I had thought they needed, and they seemed to understand it a little bit better. He was like, hey, this is how much money the client has. You're trying to do a design for this much money, so it's never going to work out, and they're not even going to end up taking this design to construction the way you guys are designing it. So, yeah, and by the way, it's an interim design, so we're gonna do the full design with all the like CFD modeling and 2D modeling and creating structural 3D drawings that we then slice to make our like 2D drawings. And so that's all coming in a few months. And so just the last few days, 4 or 5 days, has been them like sending an email like, oh, I think maybe we're not over budget because you might be including some of this extra design we did, but that we can consider that a different task. I'm like, no, you're still over budget. Just get it done. You guys are wasting more time trying to tell me how we're not over budget. And so then last night, one of the guys created his full schedule. He like manually created a schedule. He manually created a Gantt chart when I had already had one that he had seen on the call on Monday. And mine is like all automated, so when it's just an Excel template. So when you go in and you put in a date, it like fills in the Gantt chart. It like auto changes what the dates are in the Gantt chart, and if you say it's like 25% done, it'll fill in the bar 25%, and it's like it all does it just like within the like the formulas and the coding. But for some reason he felt like he needed to make his own Gantt chart last night. And he added in a ton of tasks. So now there's like 15 tasks for the next week of design. I'm like, we don't need to like slice up 1 week 15 different ways. Like if you need the milestones and you need to get your brain wrapped around it, I understand that, but we're still wasting time and still over budget and over schedule. So I'm a little frustrated with them, and that's how my week's been going. But I was thinking about like my own week and how I divide up my own week. And so I made this little like chart here, if you can see that, just on this like card my company has. So it's my target breakdown, and I don't know if you can see it real well, but I was thinking about 20% of my day, or like 2 hours of my day, should be time that I'm like in team collaboration or mentoring or doing my, like leading the team. 20% is creative work, so that's like solo work. Pricing things out is what I was doing today. I was pricing out the permanent design, putting in extra hours for these engineers who apparently can't stay on budget or on task. 20% of my day in meetings. Meetings are necessary. You do come to decisions there, and you know how to move forward. 10% maybe doing emails and answering emails, and then 10% something that just like falls out of the blue sky, or some people call it firefighting. Just things that come up on a whim. So this is like a target breakdown of like, this is probably an optimal day for productivity, or week. And obviously there are going to be days where I'm like in a day-long meeting, and so it doesn't quite follow that. But I think that's a really good target for myself, just knowing how many meetings I'm in, and how sometimes I can let meetings get overwhelming on my schedule, and I'll look at my schedule and it's all meetings. And also that like I don't need to be answering emails all the time as they come in. I can batch answer my emails, which is something that I've been doing lately. I've been using Boomerang, the app. They've got Boomerang for Gmail and Boomerang for Outlook, and so you can have it like send emails back to you later. So if I get something and I'm like, I can't even think about that till next week, I'll just Boomerang it to the next week. So it's not sitting in my emails in my inbox and me staring at it like, oh yeah, I need to do that next week. I just like out of sight, out of mind until it comes back next week. Or I can pause my inbox so that people will get an out of office reply that says, hey, I'm batch answering my emails, my inbox is paused. And so that's really nice, because to do my solo work and my creative work, I need what's in my email. I need all my emails and attachments, because just emails is where people live right now, which annoys me to no end that we're so dependent on email and we're not using these like virtual workspaces. But that's how my company does it. That's how my industry does it. It's all email based. So I need my emails open. So being able to pause new emails from coming in for a couple hours is kind of nice, because I don't have all the distractions. And I've since taken off like the little icon at the bottom that shows you when you have new emails and the notification sounds and stuff. So I have to actually like open up my inbox to see that I have new emails. But even then, as I see a bunch of them coming in, it'll get distracting. Or some mornings I'll like, it'll be 9 a.m. and I'll have 40 unread emails. They just like keep coming, and I'm copied on everything, and you just like, you can't sort through to the emails that you need to do what you're working on right then. So I've been pausing my inbox. Instead of trying to answer emails and be responsive, I've been batch answering them. Plus, nobody wants you to like answer an email and just send them on a wild goose chase again. If they're asking me for my input or my review, they want me to actually like dig into it, figure out where these links are, what are they actually asking, not just what it says in the email, but what are they actually trying to get at by that question. Because sometimes it's easy to see an email and be like, obviously they didn't read it. I'll just tell them to go make sure they saw this file, instead of like opening it and being like, oh, they're confused because this file is accidentally empty, or something like that. So yeah, spending less time just responding to emails and more time thinking through the emails and answering them fully. So yeah, it just like kind of made sense today to like sit down and be like, oh, 20%, 20%, 20%, 10, 10. Or I think of it as an 8-hour day, so each little box is an hour. So I don't know, it works. It's working for me. Yeah, and I had some conversations with one of our, I guess she's a design lead out of one of the design offices, and she was like going through what I need to have in my schedule. So an engineering cutoff, so when my engineers are pens down on their design, which they don't do very lightly. The CAD cutoff, QC review, and then time to put together the final package. So those are the tasks that'll go into this design that I'm pricing out. I've already come up with like the 30 different tasks over, 6 or I guess it'll probably be like a year. Probably be like an 8-month period because we'll do surveying. I don't think we're going to do investigative boring. We might do some bathymetry on the dam. There's just a lot of fill pieces and then modeling and desktop like engineering design pieces, and then putting together the design packages. And on this one it's kind of a small design, so we're doing a 30% preliminary design, 75% design, and then after that we'll do the 100% package. So it's pretty small. And when you start talking about designs, I think a typical design is probably like maybe a 10%, but usually 30%, 60, 90, and then 100%. Yeah, and she was like, we were going through who we're going to need. We're going to need a structural 3D modeler, a QC manager, a structural engineer, a site civil person, 2D CAD. So it was a little interesting talking to her, and especially talking about what had happened with this previous design that was just like kind of blown out of proportion, about how we didn't quite have the right people. We had a drafter, and he's good at 2D drafting, but he's not a site civil. He's designer. He's more of a drafter, and the engineers aren't used to having to come. They do the modeling, they do the analysis, but they're not used to having to draft something up themselves. And so they're used to working with a designer to help draft them. And so what we were missing between the engineers and the drafting people was like this person who was good at designing. And some engineers are designers and drafters, and some engineers like to do their own drafting, and some drafters are designers. But it was just like the skill set with these people that we had on this team wasn't quite right. So, which is why I've rechartered, and like we've got a QC manager. We're using an actual site civil design person. And so hopefully we're going to get it done in a week. I'll let you know next week if we get it done in a week. Yeah, and hopefully I'm a little bit less coughing. I don't feel like I need to be coughing, but I can just like feel it all in my throat, and I don't know. It's annoying. It's so annoying. I'm like annoyed by me coughing so much. So yeah, that's my week. And it was Pi Day yesterday. Which is very exciting. 3.14. Yeah, I think I'm the only person that's excited about it. I sent an email out to my team. I had slacked on our like weekly emails, and as I was thinking about like I need to be spending more time mentoring and leading and working with my team, and less time just answering emails, I thought, oh, I haven't sent out this weekly email in a while, because somebody I work with used to do it for me. She'd help out, and she would send them. And she is now on maternity leave, and so it hasn't been done in 2 weeks. And I was like, I need to send a team email to my team, letting them know how great it's going on this other reservoir, which we're filling up. What stage we're in, what are the last few items remaining, what's going on. And at the top I was like, Happy Pi Day! So I'm sure nobody else is excited about it as me, but I'm excited about it. So yeah, it's been South by Southwest this week, which has been fun, unless you want to drive anywhere downtown. Even on my moped, I like can't get around, and all the streets are blocked off, and so I have to park on the east side and walk over. But it's been kind of fun to see everybody in town. I think I heard that last year there was 300,000 people in town, which were less than 1 million people in Austin. So that's a lot of people for us, which is why they got all the streets shut down downtown, and there's just people everywhere, things going on. I think I heard there was a concert tonight at Auditorium Shores, so I might go check that out. But yeah, that has been my week. I will see you guys next week. Bye.